Hello everyone, it's Mind, and in today's video I'm going to redraw this drawing that I drew for 5 years now, and it's Celeste from Danganronpa, who's having a cup of tea. I was a major Danganronpa fan and she was one of my favorite characters. I mostly drew this piece in early December, but last year, in 2024, I didn't, so it's time to redraw this piece. It is super nice for every artist to look back at your own drawings that you made years ago. Most of the time, artists compare themselves to other artists, but that is pretty toxic mindset overall. Everyone grows differently and have different styles and life. The only one person you should compare yourself is none other than you. That's how you can see how much you've improved. The quality and the experience can really grow in years, and that's when you realize how long you've come so far. If you analyze two art pieces in a similar timeline, then there aren't any telling changes or improvements. But for example, when you compare your most recent drawing to a 1-year-old piece, you could see the difference between the two of them. And you could see more and more growth between the pieces if you compare older and older drawings to your most recent ones. In 2020, I focused on just getting to know my drawing tablet, since this was the art piece that I first drew digitally. I wasn't comfortable at all with it yet and didn't know what to do. Also, the drawing program that I used was new to me, so that was another challenge that I had to maneuver. In 2021, I got used to my drawing tablet. The lines and the art style really improved with this one. However, I still had some things that my skill lacked of. In 2022, I tried to focus on making the shadows strong and to cast a dark, dramatic vibe with her. However, my posing wasn't the best in this year, but finally in 2023 I learned dynamic poses and I was in the mood to make her as dynamic as possible, but it was a new skill for me and I wasn't the best at it. She looks a bit wonky, I'm not gonna lie. And actually, in my opinion, 2021's is the best out of these 4 drawings. Well, except this one, of course. My shading technique got so much better in years, and I really didn't know what to do with the lights, so I just randomly put darker and lighter shades where I felt like it suits, and I feared using as much contrast as I do nowadays. You could literally see the confidence growing in my art and my art style. I've been using this style for like 6 years now, and even though I changed one thing another, it was all for the improvement. So I actually don't really see my art style being changed, except improved, if that makes sense. For 2 years, I messed up her hands. I made the hand that she holds her cup as a left hand and not a right hand. So, in those drawings, she has 2 left hands. I used the last drawing for reference and I didn't notice the mistake, so I kept going on. I just noticed it after I published the art on Instagram and I didn't want to delete it and change after. It was an honest mistake, but in a way it makes my art piece more lovable, I think. That's why AI is always going to get left behind. The feelings, the techniques, the skills, none of the knowledge that AI can steal is good enough to replace us artists. AI art is super soulless, and the drawings, even though it's beautiful, if there aren't any melted hands in the art, of course, it can be that expressional as a human being. Anatomically, this art is so much better than the last ones. I greatly improved my anatomy and she doesn't look as stiff as before. Actually, from Danganronpa, Celeste is my favorite character out of Trigger Happy Havoc and in the game generally, and I remember always searching interesting details and Easter eggs that centered around Celeste, and I draw her so many times. As she and Kirumi was the two characters that I was into the most, and due to this I draw them a ton. I also didn't remember that Celeste had this many design elements. Like, a lot of minutes went by just drawing the little details around her outfit, and oh my god, she is the most detailed character out of the whole franchise. Like, it's amazingly detailed. I was a cringy teenager boy, I was obsessed with Danganronpa, but there is so much to thank for this little game. Danganronpa was the game that made me fall into art as much as I do now, and that game made me want to work as an artist and to get my payment by my art skills. And if I never had a Danganronpa phase, then I probably wouldn't be a YouTuber right now. I really wanted to make Celeste's whole personality shown by this art piece. I think it is super important to show the audience what kind of a person your character is. Even though Celestia Ludenberg is not my original character, I still believe that the makeup I put on her just makes her a wall better and more unique. The black lipstick and the black eyeshadow with thick long mascara really justify her goth vibes. Even though gothic Lolita fashion doesn't rely heavily on dark makeup, I think it still makes her more unique. I actually believe that changing a character's looks on fan art is kinda bad. Like, I didn't really like when people race swapped the characters or gave extra details, but now I find it a good thing. Extra details give your character more depth, and it is also much more personal to the artist. Nowadays I still don't really use the race swapping part, or I think it's a good thing. I'm more of a neutral towards it now. There are of course many benefits to it and some problematic things as well, so I don't want to get in that part of the art community. Anyways, here's my art piece, it's done. This video made me feel so nostalgic, and the emotions I received during the work of this video was simply unbelievable. I got used to my skills and seeing how much I traveled on the road of my skill. It makes me joyful that I never gave up my passion, and I still have many emotions to give with my art pieces. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, then why not consider subscribing? It really helps my channel out, and I'm seriously grateful to all of you in helping me growing my channel. I was Crowdemine, and I'll see you all in my next video, but until then, have a great day, and goodbye!